Good afternoon po sa lahat. Right now, we are faced with the challenge of the entire education system. We now become more aware of this particular perspective that all the things we are doing, all the reviews of our programs have to take into account the fact that the program, our courses, when delivered, cannot be delivered as before. Our movement is to make our faculty realize that at the moment that there is no going back at the moment to the past way of doing things. So these back-to-back webinars are organized to be able to help our faculty prepare for remote teaching and prepare our courses for remote learning. We need to also discuss how to ensure the access of students and faculty, and this is the context by which physical infrastructure is being pushed by the OVCAA. We also need to strengthen our learning management system by getting our faculty to use more of UVLe. We really have to fully develop our learning modules. In fact, the OVPAA created a committee we call the System Committee on Remote Learning, and the OVCAA in UP Diliman constituted a counterpart committee, which is the UP Diliman Committee on Remote Learning, to plan out the retooling in terms of pedagogy, assessment, no, etc. Especially for faculty who will need some guidance in doing remote learning. This committee will create plans on how to do this. On the ground, units are supposed to be discussing this already, no, based on the OVPAA memo released recently. Mahalaga siguro that one, units share what they have come up with during the discussion and consultation, and two, identify gaps that they want to be that they want filled in, so so the committee would know where to begin and where to help. Aside from this, the UP system will support requests for the enhancement of our learning management systems. I understand that we have very different positions on things. No, not to mention, we have a lot of ideological differences among us. But theoretically, we should all be adjusting. But at the moment, I mean, next semester, it will be more difficult for us. We cannot just say, I will not do anything, I will not adjust, I don't want my students to actually have problems and myself. But this coming first semester will be different. We will be more stringent. Um, Next semester, every faculty member must already have at least learning materials, reference materials, packages, no, that we can give in the beginning of the semester. This time, we will request our faculty to do that. The students need to know ano ang delivery mode, paano kapag walang klase, paano kapag wala o mahina ang internet connection. That's for the first semester. I know we are bracing for a possible resistance kasi out of comfort zone nating lahat ito. Ideally, modules are prepared by the faculty. Ito po ang kailangan nating paghandaan. And we hope that these webinars and the webinars to follow will be of help to you in preparing for all this. Maliit na simula pa lamang po ito ng Office for the Advancement of Teaching at Interactive Learning Center Diliman, at sana po kahit sa maliit na paraan ay makatulong po ito sa atin. Thank you very much everyone for attending this webinar.
Okay, thank you very much, Vice Payongayong, for those opening words. Now we can start the webinar through Sir Van Sopranes. He will be our speaker for today. Sir Van?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? So I hope you have an energetic lunch for this afternoon's webinar. So we'll have a 2-hour discussion and Q&A related to UVLe. So I'll just share my presentation. Okay. So again, I'm Van. I'm a faculty from UP School of Statistics, and I'm currently a Program Development Associate in Interactive Learning Center, Diliman, and I'll be delivering a presentation titled UVLe for Remote E-Learning. May letter E, no? Hindi lang remote learning. Bakit kaya? Uh, it's because for today's webinar, we have two main topics. Okay? And those two main topics are UVLe and remote e-learning. Okay, so for UVLe, as mentioned, the goal for today's webinar is more of understanding rather than doing. This is just the start. No, we'll still be having a more detailed training by probably July, end of July or August. No, so for UVLe, we will discuss the basic features and practical applications of an online learning management system. So for those who doesn't know what UVLe is short for University Virtual Learning Environment, and it's an online learning management system offered in UP Diliman. And then our second main topic for this afternoon's webinar is remote e-learning. Okay, so remote because we're going to discuss a system of learning wherein the teacher and students are not physically present in a classroom. And as mentioned, no, this first sem, wala tayong face-to-face learning. And we'll be focusing on e-learning, no, meaning online strategies, since we're going to discuss how to use an online platform. So just to remind everyone, no, that remote learning or distance learning doesn't have to be online. But for this afternoon's topic, we will discuss online version or online mode of remote learning. Okay, so we'll start with the preliminaries. What is UVLe? What are the basic features of UVLe? And what do you need to access UVLe? Okay. So again, UVLe is University Virtual Learning Environment. Okay. To access UVLe, right, you have to go to our website, uvle.upd.edu.ph. So in general, it can be used to conduct online classes or virtual classrooms. It allows teachers to share learning resources, gather or provide feedback, assess and monitor student performance, and conduct online learning activities and many more. So how to access UVLe? Now, what do you need to access UVLe? So for our case, the requirement of ILC Diliman in accessing UVLe is our Dealnet username and password. So simple procedure, go to the website, click log in, and then enter your Dealnet username and password. Okay. As you can see in the presentation, there are two ways of logging in. The first one is through your Dealnet account. And here at the bottom portion, you'll see log in via Upmail. So yes, we allow login via Upmail, but for first-time users, you have to use your Dealnet first. Then after your first login, you can or you may link your Upmail account to your UVLe account. So on your next visit, you will be allowed to log in via Upmail. Ayan. So if it's your first time to log in, if you've never tried using UVLe before, so first timers will be required to first update their profile information. So regarding their profile information, we want you to check if your surname is correct. So may mga case kasi na hindi na-update yung surname pag married na. And if the surname is incorrect, kindly open a ticket via ILC Diliman Help Desk. And we also recommend that you change your primary email to your Upmail account. So later, you will see the advantages of setting your primary email or setting your Upmail as your primary email in UVLe. Okay, so that's the first task, update your profile. After updating your profile, you will be directed to the acceptable use policy page of OVLE, and you have to agree with the policy before you can access the entire feature of OVLE. Ayan. So for your information with a smiley, ayan. So the Upmail is not our Dealnet account. No, I am aware that several faculty members are a bit confused with this matter. So first, no, the Upmail is associated with the UP Systems Google Enterprise account. No, hence, when we use our Upmail, we are able to access a Gmail account and the rest of the Google applications. On the other hand, the Dealnet account is only offered to UP Diliman constituents, and that's one of the reasons why currently we're still using Dealnet um, as an access credential, because it assures that the user is from UP Diliman. And the email address associated to our Dealnet account ends with @upd.edu.ph. Wala pong problema if it happened that your username and password for the Upmail and Dealnet is the same, no? So you will be able to log into OVLE. But I do know that there are some users who already forgot their Dealnet account. So if you forgot your Dealnet account or you have concerns related to Dealnet, you have to contact UP Computer Center at helpdesk@upd.edu.ph. So this same instruction applies to students. No, let's say freshman students who doesn't have a Dealnet account yet. You have to instruct them to email upcc at helpdesk@upd.edu.ph. Ayan. So our Dealnet account is the one we use in UPD Webmail, Dealnet Wi-Fi, easyproxy.upd, and other Dealnet services. So again, there are different accounts at UP and at UPD. So yeah, so that's the primary requirement. No? For UP Diliman students and teachers, if you have a Dealnet account, you can access OVLE. And later, if you want to log in via Upmail, you can link the Upmail to OVLE. So this is the summary of the procedure on how you can set up your Upmail as a login credential in OVLE. We will be providing a copy of this material, so you don't really have to memorize. So we will be sending out a copy of these procedures to everyone, to all of the participants. So practically, if there's something that you have to change regarding login or personal or profile information, you have to go to preferences. That's where you can edit these things. Okay, so just to emphasize, if you're a first-time user, you have to use your Dealnet account. If you have concerns related to your Dealnet account, you have to contact UP Computer Center. And then, after your first login, you have the option to link your Upmail to your OVLE so that on your next visit, you can use Upmail as login. Okay. Okay. So if we don't have issues regarding login, the next that we will see is the home page of OVLE. So we're done logging in, we're done updating our profile, where we agreed to the acceptable use policy. We will be now directed to the home page. So this is the look of the OVLE homepage. So let's just discuss the key features you have to remember to access your courses, to edit your profile, to search a course. So what are the important features of the homepage that you have to remember? Okay. So we'll just be discussing the buttons or links at the topmost portion of the homepage. So starting with the leftmost side. No? So we have there My Courses. So simply click My Courses to access all course pages that you are part of. No? So when you enter UVLe, you don't have a specific role. You're neither a student nor a teacher. But when you enter a course, that's where the role assigned to you takes effect. So as a user, you can be a teacher in some course pages and a student in some course pages, because that happens especially among faculty members who are still studying in the graduate program. So they have course pages where they are students, and then they have course pages where their role is a teacher. So there, click My Courses to access a list of courses that you are part of. And then these next two icons are relatively new. So we have a notification bell icon and a speech bubble icon. So as usual, the notification bell is for checking new notifications. So if you visit UVLe, there's a notification that you haven't read, you will see that in the notification bell. Now, at the same time, depending on the settings of the user, but you will receive email notifications. So by default, you will receive email notifications regarding assignments, deadlines of assignments, new messages. If someone replied to your post in the forum, you'll get a notification. Okay, again, it depends on the setting. The user may change the setting to not receive any notification. Yeah. And then the next icon, the speech bubble icon, is for messages. You just have to click that icon to send a new message or to read a new message. We can have a quick demo later. Yeah. So beside these two icons, we have quick links, to access all the common menus. And beside that, you have the full name of the user. So there are many menus under your full name, so you have to remember them. Under your full name, you will see there, guide me on this page. So if you're a relatively new user in UVLe, you should always check this feature. It's a page tour feature. So I'll demonstrate this later. So if you're not familiar with the elements of a certain page, hover your mouse on your name, then click guide me on this page, and then follow the page tour. Just remember that not all pages have a page tour. So you may recognize that in some pages, guide me on this page doesn't work. So that only means we don't have a page tour for that specific page yet. Okay. So under your name, you will see that My Profile. So if you want to view what information is displayed in your profile, just click My Profile. My Grades, a summary of grades received in the different courses where the student is enrolled in. Help, when you click Help, you will be directed to the ILC Diliman Help Desk, where you can open a ticket and inquire or ask for assistance. And then Preferences, again, anything related to editing your profile, editing information regarding login, notification, messages, so that belongs under Preferences. So saan po siya makikita? Sa ilalim po ng pangalan, under your name. Preferences. So those are the key buttons that you have to remember in the homepage. My Courses, the notification bell, and the message icon. And then you have quick links, and you have your name, the menus under your name. So yeah, so we've discussed access. So for access, you need Dealnet. You have issues with Dealnet, Email Computer Center. Successful in logging in, you have the home page. Now, once you can navigate around the home page, the next step is, or the next question is, how to request for a course page. Okay, so how do we get a course page, where we can put our materials? Currently, there are two options. So the first option, or the primary option for most of us, is to use the CRS module, the UVLe integration module of CRS. So if I think most of you have noticed already that under or below the dashboard, the instructor's dashboard, you will see UVLe integration module. Okay? And this only works if the class is already encoded in CRS. Okay? So if the class is not yet encoded in CRS, or you will be using the course page for other academic related activities like validation exam, bridge program, or meetings, university council meetings, then the request must be submitted via ILC Diliman help desk. Susulat na lang po na I would like to have this course page. This will be used for this purpose. The following users will be assigned as teachers, etc. So via help desk. Again, the help desk website is helpdesk.ilc.upd.edu.ph. Yeah, so we have two options. Okay, so what I will emphasize today is the first option because it's the more convenient option. It's automated already. Yeah. So what can you do in the OVCAA integration module? So the OVCAA integration module allows automated creation of course pages and syncing of class lists in CRS and enrolled students in the course page. So currently, I don't have any examples for demonstration because I don't have a class this meet year, but it looks like this. There are columns for OVCAA course creation. If you have a class, there's a checkbox. You just have to click the checkbox and then click request new course. And then wait until the page is created. No, so you will see here that the page is already created if the status is already successful. So just click checkbox, click request new course. Then once you've created a course or a course page via or through this OVCAA integration module, you may sync your CRS class list with the enrolled students of your course page. So similar step. Now there's a checkbox. Just click the checkbox, then click sync to sync the class list with the enrolled students in the course page. So that means all those students will automatically be enrolled in the course page. At the same time, if they are successfully enrolled into the course page, they will receive a notification email stating that you are enrolled into this course page, etc., etc. Also, students, also sometimes when the system fails to enroll the students, they will also be informed that they did not receive or the system was not able to enroll them in the course page. Now, they will also receive a notification and additional instructions on how to fix that issue. So yeah. So that's the basic feature po ng OVCAA integration. You can automatically create course page and sync the class list with the enrolled student in the course page. If there are changes in the class list in the CRS, you just have to click sync again, and those changes will automatically apply to the list of enrolled students in OVCAA. Kunyari, meron nag-change math, nag-add math, umalis, nadagdag. So just click sync again. Just repeat the process to update the list. Yeah. Besides this basic feature, we would like to inform everyone that the CRS OVCAA integration module has advanced features. No, this is commonly overlooked because the button is quite small. So if you check the checkbox, show advanced features, it will show an additional column, or there will be an additional column for linking and merging courses. So this is useful if you're teaching the same course in multiple sections. Most teachers would prefer creating a single course page for all of these sections because the teacher will often use the same set of materials for all of these sections since it's just the same subject. So that's the purpose of linking and merging. So to merge different sections of the same course in a single course page, and link, this applies to the case when you already have an existing course page of a particular subject. So everything is structured already. You don't want to repeat the process of uploading, creating assignments from scratch. You want to recycle that course page. One way to recycle that course page is by linking it. So the process is you have to create a new course page. It contains nothing. Then you link that to an existing course page that has already with established content already. And what will happen is they will be combined in a single course page. The content of the existing course page will be the content of the merged course page. The only problem here is if you have students enrolled in the existing course page, they will also be part of the combined course page. So it depends on you if you want to unenroll them from the course, that's possible. So you can unenroll them, clean up the list of students enrolled before linking it to a new course page. So if you want to know more about that, we can discuss that in Q&A. But practically, there is an option to link and merge course pages via CRS. Ayan. So that's requesting a course page. So again, two ways. Request via CRS. If it's not in the CRS, request via help desk. Okay. So once the course page is already granted, we can now start editing, transforming the course page. But before we go to that step, let's first understand the tools available in the course page. So by default, when a new course page is awarded to a teacher, they will be assigned, or the teachers will be assigned to a teacher basic role. At the same time, the teachers will have access to a basic course template. So when we say basic course template, very simple. There are pre-structured elements already that you cannot change. Also, teacher basic role has access to basic features, or what we will refer to as the starter set. So what do we have in the starter set? Okay, so the starter set has the following features. You can create, you can message. Now there's a messaging feature, the message icon. There are forums, polls. You are allowed to do resource sharing of any file type. It can be a document, it can be a web page, a video, a podcast, and the assessment tool will be in the form of assignments. So that's the starter set. Assignments, sharing of files, forums, polls, messaging. And after receiving the starter set, definitely the teacher has the option to upgrade to complete features. So the other features of UVLe advanced features include the following. So you have various types of online quizzes, collaborative tools if you want to do group assignments, peer evaluation system. We'll try to discuss these things later, how these things work, and some gamification tools. Yeah, we will present these advanced features later. So we can get feedback from you to know which other tools you may want to have more detailed training on. Ayan. So upcoming updates, So since we are shifting to remote learning, the following activities will soon be part of the starter set. So online quizzes, which is currently an advanced feature, we will put it in the starter set because we think there will be high demand on online quizzes. And at the same time, the question bank feature will also be available in the starter set. And recently, we are able to integrate the Zoom application with UVLe. It's currently working now, but it's not yet available to basic role teachers. And soon we will put it in the basic role teachers. So it will be more accessible to teachers, and they can use Zoom as a web conferencing tool within UVLe. Ayan. So just to orient you with the basic course template, this is the look of the basic course template. It's a 3-column format. So let's discuss the different parts. Yeah. So there's an upgrade button. If you want to access all of the features of UVLe, all of the advanced features, just click upgrade. Just be warned that once you've upgraded your role, you cannot downgrade it back to basic role. So we don't really recommend first-time teachers to upgrade the role because they might get overwhelmed with the several features that they will see once once they've upgraded the role, because there's so many more other features. So if you want to keep things streamlined and simple, we advise that you not upgrade the role. But if you're comfortable already with the features, you've mastered already the basics, we encourage you to explore the advanced features by upgrading. Yeah. So below the upgrade button, you will see there activities block, search forums block. So these are default blocks. So activities block provides a summary of activities and resources in the course page, and search forums for searching discussion topics. Yeah. And all course pages have an announcements forum. It's default. You don't have to construct this. So it's used for announcements. Not only users with teaching roles can create a discussion topic. And since this is an announcements forum, all users are subscribed to this forum, meaning any post reply made into this forum will have an equivalent email notification. So your students will receive a notification about the announcement through their email. Now, I guess we just have to, what we have to do is to remind our students to ensure that their primary email address in their profile is their active email address, because that's a common issue. The student is not able to receive the notification because apparently he or she did not update his or her primary email. Okay. Topic sections. This is the middle portion of the basic course template. This is where we will put the content. Dito tayo maglalagay ng assignments, ng resources, etc. So this is the blank topic section. So we can change the title and the content. So this is an example, no? So from the empty version, you can construct a module like this one. So module 1, lesson guide, module 1, activities, files, etc. So those are the things that you can do within a topic section. And at the rightmost side of the course template, you will see turn on editing. This is the important button that you have to click every time that you have to edit the topic section. So it is very common for first-time users to commit the mistake of not clicking turn on editing when they want to edit the topic section. So we always have to remember the first step in every procedure. If you want to edit a module, you have to click turn on editing. And you have blocks for latest announcements and upcoming events. Yeah, so there's a remark here. If notifications are activated, students will receive notifications reminding deadlines of assignments. Similarly, teachers may receive notifications reminding to grade submitted assignments. Yan. So minsan after 1 week, makakatag pa ng email, o mag-grade ka naman, Van, may dami na nag-submit. So may ganong level ng notification na pwedeng i-set up within OVCAA. Ayan. As basic, or using the teacher basic role, what can you edit in the course page? As mentioned, you can edit the content of the module, no? Definitely you can edit that. You can change the full name of the course page. Let's say the full name appears to be complicated because it's coded. Let's say instead of Stat 101 EHUX, you just want to call it Stat 101. So you can edit the full name of the course. You can also edit the course format. So here, instead of the plain, instead of having an outline format wherein one module is placed on top of the other, we can opt for a tab topics format, wherein each module has their own tab, like the one you can see in the shared screen right now. So yeah, so basic teachers the basic role has access to these editing capabilities. And madali lang po yan. Ayan. So And FYI, if teachers with access to advanced features can definitely do more modifications. They can add, remove blocks, and implement more advanced features or sophisticated tasks online. So this is an example. I did this many years ago. I did a gamified class in UVLe. So everything was really modified. So for advanced users, possible po yan. Ayan. So this is a summary of the procedure and how to change the general format and name of the course page. So go to your course page, administration, that's the pattern po, no? Anything about course page administration, you go to the administration button that's located at the upper right corner of the screen. So click administration, then under course administration, edit settings. That's where you will find the field for editing the format and the field for editing the name of the course page. Okay. So again, go to your course page, click administration, edit settings. Then don't forget save changes. So in this material, there is a video. So again, when we give this material, you will be able to access this video link, a more detailed video demonstration on how to do this process. Ayan. So the procedure that I've just presented is for editing the name and the format. Now, when I say format, you want to shift from this current look to using tabs instead of an outline structure. So that's what I mean with changing the format. Now, if you want to change the content of a topic section, you want to change topic 1, I want this to be chapter 1, introduction. I want to add description related to this module. I want to upload the file, etc. The first step is always click turn on editing. Okay? Yun po palagi. Anything changes in this middle portion, that's always the first step. Click turn on editing. Yeah. So click turn on editing and you'll know that you're in edit mode if you see the following icons. You'll see this icon with 4 arrowheads. No, that's the move icon. So simply hold and drag that icon to rearrange page elements. And then we have this pen icon here. Click that to edit the topic title. And you have links for adding activities and editing settings, descriptions of a course page item or element. Okay, so before we go to a quick Q&A, I think you will appreciate it better if I do a live demo. I'll just shift to the browser. Okay, so I'll just do a quick demo before the Q&A. So again, log in, click log in, use your Dealnet account if you're a first-time user. Oops, there you go. So successful login. And if you want to access the courses, if you want to access your courses, you have My Courses here. It's the same as the My Courses here. Okay, so just click My Courses. And there you have the list of the courses. The courses are arranged by status. So there are 2 types of status. We have active courses and inactive courses. Active courses, these are the courses searchable, publicly available to students. Inactive courses, these are courses hidden to students, but not from the teacher. So for example, you're still preparing the course page. So you don't want it to be publicly available or accessible to the students yet. You can hide it. So if it's hidden, it is under inactive courses. If it's active or searchable, nandito siya sa active courses. And under the status, the courses are further arranged by role. So you have the as teacher, and then you also have as participant, and there are also other roles. Ayan. So I'll open a sample course page. So this is already a pre-made course page. I'll just demonstrate how to access changing format. So again, if you want to change the full name or this, format, or you want to change this format, you go to administration, then under course administration, you click edit settings. Now you can change the full name, and then you can change the course format. And then don't forget to click save and display. So ganun lang po. Edit settings, punta sa course page, administration, edit settings. Mapapalitan nyo na yung pangalan and yung format. Okay, again, how to edit this part, the middle portion, you always start with turn on editing. And how will you recognize that you're in edit mode? You see these icons, move icon, edit title icon. Okay, so again, move icon is for moving. So just simply hold on the move icon and drag the item to its new position. That's how easy it is to change the arrangement of items. And then to edit a title, just click that pen icon, type the new topic title, say Introduction to Course. Then don't forget to press enter to save changes. Ganun lang po kasimple. No? Pag mag-edit ng position, ganun lang po. Edit ng title, type lang po. And then to see the final appearance, don't forget to turn off edit mode. Ayun. So yun lang po yung quick demo natin. Punta na po tayo kay Sir Martin for a quick Q&A.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Van, for the quick tutorial po. All right, let's start with some questions first from anonymous attendee. Will the incoming freshmen have access to UVLe when classes start in the first SEM, Sir Van?
For freshman students, I'm not yet sure if they will be provided with Dealnet accounts or just UPmail accounts. So if they will have access to their Dealnet accounts, then they will have access to UVLe. If they will not be given a Dealnet account, because usually they're not given with Dealnet account. They just have a temporary account to access the CRS. So there's always an extra step that they have to go to the UP Computer Center to claim their Dealnet account. So they have to do that again this academic year. So freshmen, you have to instruct freshman students to email UP Computer Center, helpdesk at up.edu.ph to claim their permanent Dealnet account. And they can use that already to access UPNet.
Okay, thank you, Sir Van. So yes, access lang po natin through the computer center for incoming freshmen. Okay, next one. I'm still using my old UP email in UVLe. If I change this to my current up.edu mail, will I still be able to access my old materials?
Yes po. So when you link your UP mail to your UVLe account, currently our rule will not forbid you from using your Dealnet account as a login credential. Kumbaga, you just get two options. You can log in using your UP mail, or you can log in using the Dealnet account. And none of your course pages will be affected. The only effect of linking is that you will be allowed to log in using UP mail.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir, for the clarification on emails. Okay, how about this one? Oh, will there be a mobile app po for UVLe, Sir Van? Meron na po ba tayong mobile app? And if yes,
Okay.
siya? Yes, sir.
So yeah, so good question. I wasn't able to put that in the presentation. So regarding mobile application, first, the website is mobile responsive, meaning even if they don't have the mobile application, they should be able to access UVLe through their phones, so long as they have internet and a mobile browser. No, nag-adjust po yung interface dun sa size ng screen. Now, we currently don't have a dedicated mobile application for UVLe, but there's a generic mobile application for any Moodle site. Now, UVLe is a specific instance of a Moodle site, Hence, we can use the Moodle mobile application. So if you want your students to use a mobile application to access UVLe, they may download that mobile application. Now, but we are the mobile app for UVLe is a work in progress. No? So I can't really answer kung kailan lalabas. But the team is currently developing a dedicated mobile application for UVLe. But there is a mobile application that can be used for UVLe. Moodle Mobile, Moodle,
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir, for that one. Let's see. We have more questions po coming in. Pero sige, wait lang. Let's just have at least two more. Okay, how about this one, Sir Van? Yung integration po natin with Zoom, will there be an actual tutorial or maybe in your demo on how will it work? Or tapos po, will it be embedded? Meaning, talagang nakalagay siya sa UVLe? Or is it through scheduling lang yung through UVLe? Then, through Zoom app pa rin po yung actual na use?
Yung regarding Zoom activity, nasa testing mode pa. No? So currently, we can schedule within UVLe. So, magkakaroon lang ng activity na embedded na dun sa course page, yung link kumbaga, yung details ng meeting. But the meeting will still open yung Zoom activity.
Okay, all right.
But everything can be set up within UVLe.
Okay, thank you. Also, sir, to answer yung data consumption po, I think it depends po on the quality of video na sinistream. I think this can be fixed po or adjusted through the Zoom app itself. So our students can opt for a lower quality video, if ever, so they can reduce their data consumption. All right. Okay, last, siguro something about... Okay. Ito na lang, sir. Ayun. Will it be possible to use the course page to link online resources like YouTube? Yes, ito, sir, no?
Yes, yun na po yung susunod na topic.
Okay, yes. Through the actual site na. Okay, sige. Thank you, Sir Van. In the meantime po, we're gonna have another Q&A po, right, Sir Van? Just keep on sending those questions para po ma-answer namin. And in the meantime, if we can answer once publicly here, na pwede na hindi through Sir Van, pwede na po namin answer right now. Okay, thank you very much. Sir Van, pwede na pong bumalik sa ating lecture. Thank you for your questions.
Okay. All right. So I've just presented the basic course template and the content of the starter set. Now we will go through the process of building a module. What tools within UVLe can be used to build components of a module. Okay. Yeah, so your course page, your online classroom. So our UVLe course page, you can treat it as an online classroom, meaning it is a virtual space where teachers and students can share learning resources, access activities, and interact with each other synchronously or asynchronously. So typically, the elements of an online classroom, it should be composed of learning modules and tools for communication like discussion forums. So first, let's focus on how do we build a learning module using the tools we have in the starter set. No? Starter set pa lamang. Okay, so the current starter set have the following: assignment, choice, forum, file, table, URL, and soon we will add 2 more: quizzes and Zoom. So we have a variety of choices for assessment, a variety of choices for learning resources, and we have asynchronous and synchronous option for communication. Okay. Building a simple module, now let's just cover this quickly. A learning module is often described as a self-contained unit of instruction sufficient to achieve a set of objectives. So when we build a learning module, these are the common components that we have to put into the module. You know? So there should be a clear topic title and set of objectives. So I have to emphasize this since remote learning is centered around independent learning. The objectives of that module should be clear to your students. No? Kasi sila lang mag-aral mag-isa. In the face-to-face setup, it's okay that the teacher is the only one who knows the learning objective of the day because the teacher will facilitate the learning process. However, in the case of independent learning strategy or remote learning, the specific learning objective for that module must be clear to the student as well. Now, and second, before you jump to the learning resources, you should provide an overview. I think it's a strategic approach to have an overview of content and or a study guide. So I'll give an example later. Then after this, we can have after the study guide, you have a combination of learning resources and assessment tools. So generally, these are the components of the learning module. So this is an example of a learning module I constructed in UVLe. So this is one topic section. So usually my strategy is, or my strategy for this sem or last sem is that each topic section is a single module. So you have the module title and objectives, and then I upload a file specifically and with the specific purpose of giving the overview of the content. It's also a lesson guide. So when I say a lesson guide, it contains guide questions and a suggested study plan. Now, again, it's independent learning. It's centered around independent learning. So we should give our students clear instructions on which resources should they read first. If they find these resources hard to access, what's the alternative? Then when you should take a break or take an assessment tool, ganong level po yung nilalagay ko. But again, this is just a suggested study plan so that the independent learners have some direction on how to tackle the module. And then I have here a variety of learning resources. So na-mention na po kanina, can we link YouTube videos? This one here, yung video lecture na to, that's a link to a YouTube video. And assessment tools, it can be formative or summative. So let's discuss one by one how to create each of these parts. Okay, so how to add a description to a topic section. So I put the module title and objectives in the description of the topic section. Yeah. So to add a description, just click turn on editing. That's always the first step. Then click edit to the right of the topic section title. So let's say topic 1, yung edit link dun sa right niya, click that, then click edit section. Then you will be given a text box where you can type the description of the topic section. Now you can be creative with it. Now your description doesn't have to be purely text. You can embed video. Say you want a video description. Can contain images. If you want to personalize it a little bit more. So those things are doable. So you can add description in the topic section. Next, how to upload the file. So as I mentioned, you need to have a clear title, objective, next files. Okay, so uploading a file is easy in UVLe or UVLe. You simply have to click turn on editing and open the folder containing the file, drag and drop that file to the topic section. Like this one. Ganun lang po kadali. I-drag and drop nyo lang po siya doon, and then drop, wait for the file to finish uploading, then done. You're done with uploading a file. Okay, so any file type can be uploaded, so it's not limited to doc files, PDF files. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me. Yeah. So you can also upload images or audio file, and the procedure is the same. Click turn on editing and drag and drop the file to the course page, to the topic section where you want to put the audio video file. Ganun lamang po kadali. But if you're uploading an image or an audio video file, there's just an additional step, that will be prompted automatically by UVLe. If you're trying to upload a video, an image, or a podcast, now you will be asked to choose between the two. May lalabas na window. Okay, you will be asked to choose between do you want to upload the file as a media or you want to create a file resource. What's the effect of these two options? So if you choose add media to course page, the file will be displayed as an embedded video, embedded audio, or embedded image in the course page. Kita na agad. Okay. On the other hand, if you choose create file resource, the file will appear, or the item will appear as a clickable file resource. So for students to play the video, they have to click first the file, and then it will open a window where they can play the video. Or if it's a file, they have to click it before they can download the file. So yun po yung difference. If it's a file, no additional step. Just drag and drop the file to the course page, then you're done. If it's a media file, audio, video, or images, drag and drop the file, and then choose. You want it to be embedded, so choose media to course page. You want it to appear as a clickable file, choose create file resource. Okay. Some considerations when uploading a file. So medyo natatanong na, how do we make videos manageable to students? My first suggestion is consider designing and uploading learning resources of different file formats. In remote learning, especially if you're applying the philosophy of open distance e-learning, no, open meaning flexible. No, so you have to the concept when you redesign your course, you always have to think about flexibility. So try to upload different file formats, and again, different file formats can be low bandwidth resources or high bandwidth resources, and here are some of the options. So definitely low bandwidth, yung mga simple lecture notes. If you want it to have a little bit more of expression, a little bit more interesting, instead of plain lecture notes, you can upload presentation material na medyo maraming graphics or visualization, no? Or you can upload an infographic, and then medyo nasa high bandwidth side yung videos, no? And kung kaya na walang visualizations, you can also opt to upload podcasts. Okay. Yeah. So this is also an important consideration. Currently, there is a site upload limit, but the limit applies per file. No? So the site upload limit is 50 megabytes per file, but there's no limit to the total storage space per course page. So it's okay to exceed more than 2 gigabytes so long as each of the individual file is less than 50 MB. No? So why are we doing this? Not only to manage the file storage being consumed by the course page, no, but we also aim to encourage teachers to keep their files manageable for downloading. If uploading a file more than 50 MB is inevitable, no, I do know that there are certain disciplines na kailangan talaga magpakita ng mahabang videos or have to demonstrate or have to give high definition video lectures, etc. The teacher may request for a higher upload limit by ILC Diliman help desk. No? Susulat na lang po. Ayan. However, again, we strongly discourage teachers to upload large files as students may have difficulties downloading or streaming the material. So yung 50 MB upload limit, that could be the benchmark for teachers. No? If it's more than 50 MB, well, hindi pa naman yun large, but if it's so much more than 50 MB, no, or if it's less than 50 MB, at least you're guaranteed that average internet access stability will be enough to download those files comfortably. So, anong strategy na pwedeng i-apply? So, this is one strategy that I applied in one of my courses. No, I considered uploading several short videos around 10 to 15 minutes each instead of uploading one long video for each module. So, I really made each video very specific, no, nuggets of information talaga. With this, students with an average internet access have better chance of successfully downloading several short videos one at a time than downloading one large video. Because as we all know, if you're downloading one large video and your download gets interrupted in the middle of the process, you have to do the entire process again. Hindi siya parang, you can't run or you can't play a fragment of a video. So parang ganun. So that's one way of doing it. No? When we think of redesigning our courses and structuring our materials, let's think of very specific small tasks so that the equivalent files will be also lighter, although there are many, but lighter individually. This is a quick comparison. No? These data is based on my experience. No? A specific class. There's a specific class I handled where I uploaded a 1 hour video. So that's about 160 MB at a relatively high resolution, 180p. And then I have a similar video lecture where I opted to download several 5-part. I divided it into 5 parts. Each video is up to 15 minutes only, and per file is just around 40 MB. So I realized that I can manage with the file upload limit, kasi yung 15-minute video lecture, you may create a 15-minute video lecture that is less than 50 MB. Also, this strategy will allow students to download materials in portions. So it becomes less frustrating for them because at least they can strategize to download the file one at a time. More on smaller specific tasks or shorter videos. In terms of instruction perspective, learners tend to have better focus. Based on experience, learners tend to be more successful when they're doing several shorter, smaller specific tasks rather than giving them one big task. In general, yung smaller task tends to be more encouraging, less intimidating and dragging than bigger tasks or long videos. So for example, I have students who find it more motivating when they finish small tasks. So in their perspective, when they watch a 10-minute video, at least they accomplished something because they finished one video. Versus, let's say, give them a 60-minute. Pagdating nila sa 10-minute mark, they're more focused on the 50 minutes remaining that, it's still too long. There's so much I haven't watched. So so it's one way of looking at it. It may be beneficial for learners to really granulate our instructional materials. Yun po. But then again, it really depends on our courses. If it will be strategic to do it this way. Ayan. So another thing to consider, if you're tech savvy enough to know how to adjust the resolution of your videos, then try to render your videos at relatively lower resolutions. Kasi based on experience, if most of your students are viewing videos via phone, 4080p or 720p resolution is already enough. I mean, in most disciplines naman po, a high definition video lecture is not necessary, but there may be disciplines where a high definition video or high resolution video might be necessary. Okay, so again, a higher resolution video means sharper video, better quality definitely, but it also means larger file size. So we have to balance. It doesn't really have to be at optimum quality because we also have to consider accessibility of the file. Yeah. So those are the tips for uploading the file. You can upload any file. What's the process? Don't forget to click turn on editing and drag and drop the file to the topic section where you want to put the file. So yeah, so from uploading a file, there's another way of sharing a learning resource. And that is by sharing web pages or YouTube videos. So can we share web pages or YouTube videos in our course page? Yes, definitely you can. You just have to use a different resource. Because definitely hindi na pwedeng drag and drop kasi link na lang yun. So, just to remind everyone, we don't have to create all of our learning materials from scratch. Now we can search the internet. There might be several educational web pages, open educational resources, or YouTube videos that we can use as learning resources for our classes. I think we have several teachers who do that. They've identified already which YouTube videos or materials available online can be used for their classes. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Definitely optimize those available materials. It's less work for us. And if that's the case, then you have to use the URL resource. The URL resource allows teachers to share links to relevant web pages, which includes YouTube. Okay, so I want you to be familiar with this process because all resources and activities follows this pattern. in creating a resource or activity. This is the pattern. So if it's a file, just drag and drop. If it's not a file, a different type of resource or activity, the steps are you click turn on editing, you add an activity or resource, and you choose the resource or the activity you want to add, and then you set up the activity. Yeah, so for this case, you have to choose URL because you want to build a URL resource, and then after this, you set up the URL resource and click save. So URL resource, madali lang siya. It's easy to use. You just have to put a name. What's the name of the URL resource? Say YouTube video about something. Then external URL, just copy and paste the URL in this field. And then you can add description, additional details about the file or the link you are sharing. Ayan. So having said that, since we already mentioned sharing of web pages or sharing of YouTube videos, I'm opening the suggestion, consider opening a YouTube channel either as an individual or as a department. Why? Because YouTube somehow makes videos more accessible, and videos has the advantage is more interactive than giving notes, lecture notes. So if you want to optimize videos at the same time ensure accessibility, you may want to open your own YouTube channel. So literal, magkakaroon na YouTube channel yung mga faculty ng UP. Ayan. Why? Again, telcos have relatively cheap packages for YouTube and general video streaming sites. So currently, a 99 pesos package for 1 week consumption already has 2 gigabytes for general internet surfing and 1 gigabyte per day for YouTube and other video streaming. 1 gigabyte is already approximately 2 hours worth of video. Marami ka nang papanood. If that allowance is effectively spent per day, madami nang mapapanood, or the student will be able to access a lot of learning materials already if it's posted in YouTube. And so currently, there are already a lot of data-friendly packages for YouTube. And at the same time, YouTube allows users to play a video at a lower resolution when internet is unstable. So if you've been playing YouTube, you will notice that if your internet gets unstable, the quality of the video gets a little bit blurry. It's because the application will downsize the resolution or will lower the resolution to keep streaming manageable. So I guess that's also one strategy you can consider to make your videos accessible. Okay, I think the disadvantage lang of using a YouTube channel is that not everyone is comfortable publicly sharing their material, but if that's not an issue for the individual or for the department, definitely it's worth considering. So some tips, okay, do not neglect this icon, these question marks you see in OVCAA. When you see that question mark, it means that particular text or field has available documentary notes. So if you want to access those documentary notes, just click that question mark icon to know more about that field when setting up a resource or an activity. Okay, so before the Q&A, before I answer questions, I'll just do a live demo to show you again how to do it. Okay, so I'll share my OVCAA. Okay, so I will go to a basic course template. Okay, so this is the basic course template. Ito yung clean. Nothing has been edited yet. This is how it looks like. So again, I've shown you how to edit the middle portion. The first step is always to click turn on editing. say we want to transform topic 1 or topic 2 as module 1. No? So usually, for my case in my classes, topic 1 is usually a welcome tab. And then tip for everyone, um, uh, it's always good to have a welcome video, a welcome image in your course. Now, try to show your face in the welcome video, or if you're not comfortable showing your face, have a podcast, welcome podcast instead. Now, just to make things feel a little bit more human, no, so that the students will not just see text, no, they will realize that they still have a teacher. It makes things feels less, it makes the platform feel less robotic, kumbaga. So yeah, that's one of the tips I got from a workshop related to humanizing online learning. So sabi daw yan, have a dedicated welcome video showing your face or a podcast. Yeah. So yeah, that's usually my strategy. I have a welcome tab. That's where I put my syllabus. Then the second tab is usually module 1. So again, just click the pen icon, press enter to edit. How do we upload the file? I think the process of dragging and dropping will not be visible to you because I can only share one window at a time. But you will see that a file will be uploaded. Because I'm currently dragging and dropping a file right now under module 1. So then, dinap ko lang po yung file under module 1. Wait for it to upload, then done. Ayan, so medyo mabagal. Ayan, so there you go. So you know it's done uploading once it looks like this. And you can edit the title of the course file if you're not satisfied with it. So let's say instead of lecture notes, you want to name it module 1 lecture note. You still have that pen icon there. Just click it. You can edit the title. So module 1 lecture notes. And just press enter. Done. So ganun lang po. Upload the file, drag and drop. You can edit the file name if you want. Okay, so URL. So how do you share YouTube URL? So if it's not a file, the process starts with click turn on editing, click add an activity or resource. Now, so you have to click the link corresponding to the topic section where you want to add the activity. Say I want to add it in module 1. Therefore, this is the link that I have to click. So I click this. I want to share a YouTube video regarding UVLe. So it's a link, so I have to choose URL resource. You can double click URL or you can click URL and click add. Same effect. Okay, so double click there. So it will lead me to a settings page. So again, I just have to put the name or the URL, say YouTube video about UVLe. Then I have to copy and paste the URL of the YouTube video here. So I have the YouTube video ready on the other tab. So I'll just copy the URL, paste it here. You can have additional description, then you're done. Okay, save and return to course. There you go. So again, to see the effect of the changes, don't forget to turn off editing. So turn it off. So there you go, I've made the changes. You see there the uploaded file. Here's the shared YouTube video. So what will happen is when students click this, the YouTube file, the YouTube video will open. There you go. So that's it. That's sharing URL and uploading files. So now we can proceed with the question and answer portion.
Okay, thank you for that, Sir Van. Marami po tayong mga katanungan currently. Okay, for the first question, sir, I think this is also a common one, no, na we've been hearing kasi marami pong different types of LMS. We have Google Classroom, we have other third-party providers, but the question reads, what are the selling points of UVLe over Google Classroom?
Okay, for the selling points, well, the main selling point is that UVLe has been customized already for the needs of UP Diliman. So a lot of the upgrades that we do comes from the feedback of the faculty. Like for instance, the CRS feature. You have for creation of course pages, you have to manually create course pages in Google Classroom, although you have the control, but you have to do it manually. Same goes with the process of enrolling students to your course page. No, you have to do that manually in the Google Classroom. While here in UVLe, it's already integrated with the CRS. You already have the UVLe integration module. So the process of enrolling students is already efficient. Moreover, Google Classroom is not a full, if we're going to focus on Google Classroom lang, Google Classroom is not really a full-fledged LMS. It's
Yes.
very basic. You don't have access to, let's say, complex assignments or complex quiz activities that may be relevant now because we're going to 100% online or 100% remote. No? So we may need more sophisticated tools. And yeah, you will see later dun pa sa mga ginawang upgrades that there's so much more you can do. You know, for instance, yung forum in most LMS, because they want it to be so simplified to the teachers. There's just one type of forum, but for the case of UVLe, we maintain the option to use different types of forums because it can be used to perform different types of activities online, no? So only if teachers will spend time to learn them, no? Kasi yung forums can be it's not just for open discussion, eh. So we have specialized forums for, later you'll see online version of a recitation activity. It can be used as a getting to know you activity platform, etc. So yeah, marami pa. And then there are certain activities na are not really available in UVLe. I mean in Google Classroom.
Thank you, sir, for those additional features pala, no, na we can see na may advantage din definitely. UVLe, thank you for that question also. Ito, sir, meron po tayong question. So we can upload many materials, no, like ebooks, like videos through UVLe. What's the file limit, sir?
Yeah, so file limit again, it's per file, 50 MB per file.
Per file.
There's no file limit. There's no total limit for a course page.
I
No,
see.
currently, you know, we don't have a policy on a total file size limit. Per file lang yung limit.
Okay. All right. Ito naman, sir, I think this is also useful for papers since this is a common staple for requirements. The question reads, do we have a plagiarism checker built in na mismo, sir, in UVLe?
Okay, so the challenge in plagiarism checker is that they're not free. So we only have the free tools. No, I'll show you later, no, because we're not yet in the assignment activity. But the assignment activity is currently linked to free plagiarism checkers, although they're very limited. No, but we can say that we can upgrade these plagiarism tools if the university will have a subscription. So, for instance, plagiarism checkers like Turnitin, they have plugins that can be integrated with UVLe. We can't just use it now because we don't have a university subscription. We have CROT. What CROT Professional can't be used now in UVLe, again, because we don't have a subscription, but we can use the free version, which can only compare submitted assignments within UVLe, meaning student-to-student comparison lang. There's no comparison to other web pages.
Yes.
That level.
Okay. Sir, last muna while we end this current Q&A part lang naman. Do you have a tutorial version for students daw? I've encountered multiple questions about this. So for student-facing naman po, tutorials.
Yes po. For in preparation for SEM, we'll be releasing a student guide. So currently we don't have that yet, but it's a work in progress.
Okay, thank you very much for the questions and the answers, Sir Van. Okay, so I think we can continue now with Sir Van's lecture. Sir Van, take it away for the next part. Thank you. And by the way, sorry, please don't forget to upvote or to click the thumbs up for the similar questions that you have. Para po we can prioritize those and we can see where the demand or where the main questions are, the FAQs. Ika nga. Okay, thank you. Sir Van, take it away.
Okay, so we're now done discussing the tools for resources, no? So uploading files, sharing URL. The next part is to complete the module, we need assessment activities, no, or assessment tools. So with our current starter set, the main tool for assessment will be assignments, no, and with the upcoming update, we also have the option of using online quizzes. So assignments, now let's start with that. So assessment of learning can be done through online assignment activity, especially if you want to apply much flexibility with your assessments, definitely online assessment will be more online assignment will be more manageable than time pressured online quizzes, no? Kasi online quizzes is a high bandwidth activity. You know, it's difficult to answer an online quiz when there's time pressure and you don't have good internet. You know? So the assignment would be the lighter alternative. So the basic features of the assignment activity include online submission of files, setting up of deadlines. There's a feature for online grading and various options for giving feedback. So let's go into the details of these features. So how to set up an assignment, no? So just like the URL, very templated yung procedure. It's very the same. You have to start with clicking turn on editing and then click add an activity or resource. But this time, instead of choosing URL, choose assignment. And then the next step is setting up the assignment. Yeah, that's the final step. Set up the assignment and click save. Excuse me. Yeah. So what are the things we have to remember when setting up the assignment? So for first-time users, you have to remember that UVLe implements two types of deadlines, or users can choose between a due date or a cutoff date, or both, or none of them. So what are the difference between these two deadlines? The due date is the official deadline of the assignment. No? So all outputs submitted after the due date will be marked late. So later I'll show you an example how UVLe marks the status of submission. And due date is the basis of upcoming events block. So if you still remember, kanina, as part of the course template, there's an upcoming events block. All upcoming activities or deadlines will be displayed in that block. So the due date is the basis of the upcoming events block. No? So if the due date is within 3 weeks, the activity will be displayed in the upcoming events block. Similarly, if the notifications were activated, students should receive a notification at least 1 week before the deadline. They will be reminded that you have to submit, etc., to this assignment at this time by this date. And so due date. On the other hand, cut-off date, this is the strict deadline. This is the last date that UVLe will allow submission of outputs. So I have here a simple visualization. Before the due date, submission is allowed, status is on time. After due date, submission is still allowed, but status is late. And it depends already on the teacher on whether he or she will apply penalties or whatnot. So definitely UVLe will not prohibit the student from submitting his or her output. But the cutoff date will be the last day that it will accept submissions. After the cutoff date, submission is not allowed. So yung box kung saan nag-upload ng file, mawawala yon. Yung box kung saan magta-type ng sagot, mawawala rin yon after the cutoff date. And the due date and the cutoff date can be set you can set it up to the minute, very, very specific. Yeah, so yon, you have to remember that. Also, submission types. So currently, there are two types of assignments that can be implemented online. Online text assignment, meaning the students will type their answers in an online text editor. But you only have one text editor, and they put all of their answers there. The second one is file submission. So as an output for the assignment, the students will upload file or files. So it can be, they may upload several files. And again, there's a file size limit. Same rule, 50 MB. But for this case, I think it's 50 MB total for the entire submission. And again, if you require an activity wherein the output is more than 50 MB, you have to request higher upload limit via ILC Diliman help desk. So pwede naman po palaging pakiusapan, or you can always request if you need more storage, so we can review how we can budget storage for you, or how we can adjust the file size limit for you. Okay. Ayan. Before I go with grading options, now I think it will be better if I demonstrate first how to create an assignment. So I'll just transfer to UVLe and then give you a quick demonstration how to set up an assignment. Okay, so how to set up an assignment again? Templated procedure. First step, turn on editing. Second step, go to the topic section where you want to add the activity and click add an activity or resource. So let's say I want to put an assignment in module 1. I don't have an assessment tool under module 1 yet. So I click add an activity or resource and choose assignment. Then click add. So ganun lang po. That's the same process for any type of resource or activity except for files that you can simply drag and drop. Okay? So yan. So click assignment, set it up. No? So give a name to the assignment. So sample assignment. And then description, usually I put here instructions. Okay? If you have attachments, if the assignment requires some attachments, just drag and drop them in this file uploading box. Now just drag and drop the file to that box if you have attachments. And here you will see allow submissions from when it will start accepting submissions. Due date, no? What's the official deadline? And then by default, cutoff date is not activated. So if you want to have a strict deadline, no, I will only have a 3-day grace period for late submissions. July 6, no, dapat masubmit na lahat. After July 6, submissions will not be allowed. No, closed doors. OVCAA will not allow you to set the cutoff date before the due date. So if ever you commit that mistake, it will prompt an error. So it will not allow you to save the activity because it will recognize an error. And then recently, there's a new date here that you can set, no, remind me to grade by. No? So if you want to get notifications and be reminded that, oops, you've just created an assignment, you have to check this. Yeah, so you can set up a reminder. And then after setting the availability submission type, no, so just focus on this too. This is currently disabled, no, because it will be updated or it will be updated. Okay, so you either choose online text or file submissions. Again, do not ignore this question mark. If you forgot what online text means, just click this question mark. If you forgot what file submission type means, just click this question mark. Yeah. If you want to limit the file type, let's say I want the submissions to be PDF, okay, to be saved in PDF. Just type here, accepted file types. Just type here PDF, and then the file submission will be limited to PDF files. Then here you'll see CROT. So what is CROT? This is what I mentioned earlier. This is a free version of a plagiarism checker. You can enable this. So once you enable it, it will allow comparing of submitted files with other student files. When I say with other student files, within OVCAA comparison only. So it's been several years already since CROT became a paid service. So since it became a paid service, we cannot access other pages outside OVCAA. And grade, so for grade, you just have to edit what's the maximum grade, the baseline for grading. So let's say the total number of points that you can achieve for this assignment is over 15, then just change maximum grade to 15. So yeah, very simple. This is the basic, this is the version of the assignment under the basic role. I want to emphasize that because the assignment activity in OVCAA has so many features. If you go to the complete feature, if you upgrade your role, you will be able to access group assignments and other features pa. So ito, very streamlined and simplified na. So instructions, attachments, deadlines, submission type. Do you want to use CROT? What's the grade setup? Done. Save and return to course. Then there you go. You have your sample assignment or an assignment activity. Okay, so that's how you create an assignment activity. Very similar, very same lang yung procedure with the URL. Okay. Next, so once you've already implemented an assignment, the next question is, how do you grade assignments in UVLe? So we have two options, no? Definitely there's the offline option, which means teachers. I'll share screen. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So there are two options for grading, offline or online. So offline, teachers may download all submissions and evaluate submissions offline, and then it depends na. Do you want to encode the grades online? That can be done. If not, and you want to give the feedback in other ways, sure, that's also allowed. So that's option one. Now option two, there's a feature in UVLe that allows you to do all of the tasks, viewing submissions, giving feedback, and providing grade online. Everything is done online. So let's discuss option one. So how do you do option one? Downloading everything and grading offline. So this is the summary of the procedure. There's an equivalent instructional video on this. If you want an instructional video on this, it's available in the YouTube channel of ILC Diliman. No, but yeah, the steps are very simple. You have to click the assignment activity, view all submissions, and then look for grading action. There's an option there, download all submissions. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, so that's for downloading all submissions. Excuse me. Okay. Next, so once you've downloaded all the submissions and evaluated, nag-grade nyo na siya offline, you have the option to encode grades of submitted assignments online. So we have the quick grading option. So these are the procedures. Click Save Assignment Activity, view all submissions. Then there will be a column for grades with text boxes where you can encode the grade for each student. Then just don't forget to click Save All Quick Grading Changes. Now, as you can see in the shared screen, the UVLe marks the status in this manner. So it's green if it's submitted on time. There's a red mark if it's late, and it's very, very detailed. 1 minute, 18 seconds late, 3 seconds late. So it will be marked. The gravity of late submission, you will be able to determine it. There's a very specific timestamp. Okay, that's option one. Download everything. After downloading everything, you grade them offline. Then you have the option to encode the grade. Ito just for troubleshooting. If there are no text boxes in the grade column, just refer to this slide. These are the steps on how to activate quick grading. Okay, option two. So there, some of you it might be more convenient to do everything online. You don't want to download them anymore. If it's possible to view the submission online, grade it online, and give feedback online, why not? So option two provides that mechanism. So to do option two, do everything online. Sorry, this should be online viewing, not download all submissions. Okay, so click assignment activity and click grade. So when you click grade instead of view all submission, the online assignment viewer will open. It looks like this. That's the online assignment viewer. Via online assignment viewer, you can comment, annotate, submit files, and annotate submitted files online. So let's have a better look at it. Okay, so yeah, so these are the parts of the online assignment viewer. So you have a drop down list box where you can choose a specific student that you want to review, and then there you can see the file. So late nakalagay, so 1 minute 18 seconds. You see here the file submitted. If you click this file, you will be able to download the file submitted by the student. This 100% here, Now, if you activated CROT, you will see a number from 0 to 100% beside the file name. And that number is a similarity score. If it's close to 100, it means it's very similar to one of the files within the database of UVLe. So this means this student submitted a file that is very similar to another file. So he might, or this student might have plagiarized his work. So yun po. And if you want to investigate this further, you can always ask the help of ILC Diliman to help this, to trace which file are similar, etc. No. So yun po. This number is not the grade. That's the similarity score computed by CROT. And again, it can only do within UVLe comparison. Ayan. So the feature can convert files into PDF. Of course, not all files can be converted to PDF, but those files that can be converted in PDF can be viewed and annotated in online viewers. Pwede ka na. You can do checking online. Ayan. So you have options to add comment. It's just like your Acrobat PDF viewer. There's an option to add comment, to highlight, to add stamps, smiley face, sad face, check, X mark. So those are the things you can add. You can annotate to the document. Yeah, there's a text box where you can input the grade. And below the text box, there are fields for feedback. So we have two types of fields for feedback. There's an option for feedback comments and feedback files. So what are the differences between the two? Feedback comments, this feature allows teachers to type their feedback in an online text box. So it's just a text comment, a text comment only, textual comment. And we have feedback files. This feature allows teachers to upload file or files as feedback. So that feedback could be an annotated version already of the student's submission. It could be an audio feedback. If you want, you have a podcast containing the feedback, or a video feedback, so that it feels more personal when you give the feedback, and the instruction and the learning experience still feels a bit more human, even though everything is online. So those are the options. Feedback files, any type of files would do. But again, there's a file size limit, 50 MB per file. And again, the student will be able to see the grades and feedback after clicking save. So as long as you haven't clicked save, it will only be saved as draft. So this is the student view of the assignment. So once you've already given a feedback, the student will be able to see feedback available. And if they click feedback available, they will be able to see the feedback file, the feedback comments, etc. Yeah, so that's the student view of an assignment with an appropriate feedback. And as you have observed, the deadlines are also highlighted within the course page. It is green if it's already submitted. It is hot red if it's late already or beyond the deadline already, etc. Yeah, so tips for students, as mentioned, one of the default blocks in the course template is the activities block. So the activities blocks has a feature to get all downloadable resources at once. So you may give that as a tip to your students. If you want to download everything in one go to activities block, click resources, and then there's an option to download all. Ayan. Okay. Virtual interactions. Ayan. So for virtual interactions, we have to remember that an UVLe course page or an online classroom is not complete without setting up activities for virtual interaction. It can't be just modules all the time. In order to maintain the feeling of having a class and classmates, or you have to provide activities where students will be able to interact with each other, or where students will be able to communicate with the teacher. So we have two simple tools for that. The first one is the choice activity. So the choice activity is for creating an online poll, just a one question poll. So if you want to have a quick feedback, you can create a choice activity. Yeah. So this is the procedure. I'll skip this part now. It's almost 3. Yeah. Again, you will be provided with the procedures, and we will still have a follow-up training, a more detailed training on this. And so on features of the choice activity, teachers have access to the responses of the students, and results may be downloaded in Excel file format. And one tip, after the first week of the class, since remote learning is new to everyone, I think it would be strategic to have a quick poll on how they are coping, or how they are doing with the class. So for example, how are you coping with the remote learning setup? So I am doing well, just okay, not good, not bad, I have problems, I need assistance. So at least we will be able to determine after a week, who among our students or learners are having difficulty with the new setup, the remote learning setup. Ayan, so this is an example. You can see who answered which choice. Okay, so besides the choice activity, we also have the forum activity, which lets teachers create online discussion forums or inquiries, online consultation, reflection activities, or online registration. This activity is definitely for asynchronous discussion. Yeah, so same process of creating a forum activity. Turn on editing, and an activity of resource, click forum. Same pattern lang po yan. It's just that each type of activity has different settings that you have to adjust. Yan. So tip, So don't forget to have a dedicated space for virtual interaction. So usually when I structure my course pages, the middle sections are the modules. The first section is a welcome tab. The last section is the polls and forums tab. So the last is all about interaction, asynchronous interaction, asking feedback from students. Okay. The announcement forum is not enough. Make sure you have another forum for general purpose, for general increase in or feedback, a space where students can freely post anything, so that you will encourage student-to-student interaction. Students can ask questions, share ideas, or express themselves. So for me, based on experience, yung mga Bibo students usually use this to share their extra materials to other students. Coming from my experience, may mga ganong estudyante. So they use the general forum to help other students. Yeah, so I have some tips on how to set this up properly. For this case, the appropriate forum should be standard forum for general use. And you always have to check the subscription mode. If it's open to everyone and anything can be posted in the forum, make sure to choose optional subscription to avoid unnecessary email notifications. Because I learned this the hard way. I opened a general forum and I forced everyone to subscribe to it. So what happened is, even if the topic is not something related to what they want to know, they still receive notifications from it. And the students told me that it's flooding their email. So that's where I learned that I have to, for general forums, subscriptions must be optional. Ayan. When you have forums, make sure you set house rules on how to use it. So I suggest a title format, so students suggest a title format so students can easily search discussion topics. Yeah. And there, so this is usually left unnoticed by students because the icon is so small, but there's usually a small dot or a small envelope in this portion of the interface. You have to click that to subscribe or unsubscribe to a discussion topic. Ayan. Again, these tips for students will also be included in the student guide that we'll be creating. Ito, just a quick run through. We have a Q&A forum for recitation activities. It has special rules. It's unlike a general purpose forum. Here in a Q&A forum, only the teacher can post a discussion topic. Students can reply their answers, but students will not be able to see the responses of their classmates until they have posted their response. So I have here an example. So for example, I've created a Q&A forum and I've posted the question, what are the common regularization frameworks mentioned in Module 1? So since this is a Q&A forum, when uh, the student has to post something in order to see the post of his classmates, no, or his or her classmates. So for example, here, Isko Matalino is the first one to reply. So no problem, no, there's no responses to view or compare yet. And then we have another student, si Iska Matapang. So since Iska Matapang has not posted an answer to the question yet, she will not be able to see Isko's answer. And when she posts an answer, she will not be able to immediately see the answer of Isko because there's a 30-minute grace period. Within that grace period, Iska can still change her answer. After that 30 minutes, she will not be able to change her answer anymore, but she will be allowed to see the responses of other students. So this type of forum encourages individual thinking and at the same time learning from peers because eventually they will see the responses of their classmates. So that's why I say that a Q&A type forum can be used as an online recitation tool. Yun po. Yeah, ito, another fun idea I got from a workshop. Start your class with a getting to know you activity via forum. Since we don't see each other in the classroom setup anymore, for certain classes, I think it's very important to give students an opportunity to interact with each other, to know who their classmates are. So you can conduct a getting to know you activity, and then you can instruct your students to share a selfie or a TikTok video with a short personal introduction. It's a good idea for freshman courses, GE classes, makes online learning more human because you see more humans interacting, and definitely much better if the teacher will also participate so that everyone is part of the community, kumbaga. Ayun lang. So there, quick Q&A, and we will not do live demo anymore because we don't have time.
Okay, thank you very much for the lecture, Servan. We have some questions here, Pastor. Actually, we have 5 minutes left, but we'll try to answer those who are asked the most first. This one, Servan. Could you explain gamification? How is it done, and what are the options under that? Is it possible to make quizzes that are fun like Duolingo? So how do we gamify the lessons through UVLe, sir? Maybe a brief backgrounder.
Okay. Actually, I have slides on gamification, but since we don't have time, I will skip directly to that slide to show you. So there are certain tools for gamification within UVLe. So this is the most basic. This one is the level up block. I've used this before. It's a block that you add to your page, and it gives experience points to students every time that they visit the page, they accomplish something, and there's a concept of achievement because they level up once they reach a certain level of experience. So this is a view, merong ranking, medyo may onting sense of competition, etc. So that's one way of gamification. You put an element of challenge and gaining experience. Merong parang rewards system, kumbaga. And when I implemented this in one of my classes, their experience points it was not involved in their final grade. It does not affect their final grade. It's just simply there to motivate them, because there's some sense of achievement. That's one way of gamifying. You add the level up block. So meron silang concept ng levels. Uy, level 5 na ako, level 3 ka pa lang, etc. And it also helps the teacher detect who are the inactive students within the course page. There are also game format alternative to quizzes. So let's say you're tired of giving an ordinary multiple choice quiz. If you already know how to construct a multiple choice quiz in UVLe, we can easily construct a millionaire's game quiz in UVLe. So yun po yung nasa left side. No? So millionaire's game. So just like the game itself, merong 50-50, kunyaring call a friend, and kunyaring ask the audience. And meron din pong crossword puzzle and many other game format alternative to quizzes. Those are some lang.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Maybe we can have two last questions po. Most have voted one. This one is about this, sir. So apparently we have a certification program, no, under Moodle for educators. Do we have any information right now, Sir Van? If we have any medium or long-term plans for support or incentives so faculty members can try for the certification program po for Moodle?
Hindi ko po masagot, no? But I've heard that already when I attended Moodle Moot, no, the first Moodle Moot PH, no? But I'm not aware there are plans of incentivizing getting certificates because I'm aware that it's difficult to get a certificate. You undergo trainings and you have to complete exams to get the certification.
I see. Okay, thank you. But at least we can keep our ears naman po to the ground on that. Sige, another one. Is there a function, Sir Van, that allows students to monitor their progress? I think this is similar to some other LMS, sir, na merong percentage. They can see how much more they have to contribute to finish the course. Maybe a gauge of sorts, a percentage gauge.
There is actually a progress bar block, but currently we don't put it. We did not include it in the course template. We can definitely consider that, no, but definitely there are available plugins or features, no. So if you think that's an helpful tool, we please answer that in our feedback survey because we'll be giving a feedback survey after this.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, speaking of the survey po pala, we'll be posting the link now. This is the link for our feedback survey and we hope that everyone can participate para po we can also assist the faculty in terms of multimedia support, kung ano po yung in-expect nyo na requirements for the coming semester. We're gonna post it here sa chat so everyone can be can access this. Hopefully po makasagot po tayong lahat po ng attendees. So pinlag ko lang yun. Okay, what else? So we have 1 minute. Okay, maybe we can have the last question na lang under here. Okay, under kay Ms. Riza Romero. Will Google Meet also be integrated in UVLe or Zoom pa lang tayo, sir?
Zoom pa lang po currently. We're not sure if there are plugins for Google applications, but we are aware that Google Drive can be integrated. So I'm not sure if other applications can also be integrated with UVLe.
I see. Okay, thank you, sir. Unfortunately, we are out of time na po, but meron lang po papakita si Sir Van, real quick na final slide niya for everyone's reference. Sige, sir. Singit mo natin yan. Kaya pa po. Okay.
Okay, just a quick note. So there are other exciting tools. I mentioned already quizzes. I mentioned already gamification. We have also groups and groupings. No? So for classes na merong natural groupings, meron po advanced tool that. So if you want to learn about groups and groupings, please put it in the feedback survey. Meron din po tayong workshop activity. This is a peer evaluation system. So it will allow teachers to collect submissions and redistribute submissions to students for peer evaluation. It has a feature to set up rubrics and rules for peer rating. So kung gusto niyo magkaroon ng peer evaluation activity na assignment, meron pong ganon. So we can also discuss that. Just put it in the feedback form. No, advanced tools na po ito. And then, na-mention na yung games and gamification. Ayan, ito lang po, some thoughts. No? So, nilagay ko lang, there's so much to learn and too many roles to play. Moving forward to remote learning, we have to be a teacher, content creator, video editor, technical support, system administration. Ang dami na nating trabaho. Yun, but I just would like to remind everyone na you don't necessarily have to be everything. No, I encourage everyone, the departments, to really consider collaboration with peers. No, so UVLe supports collaborative administration of courses. We have roles for teaching assistants. We have roles for co-teachers. Definitely flexible with those setups. Consider team teaching by role. When I say team teaching by role, Pwedeng yung isa is expert sa paggawa ng quiz, yung isa ay expert sa paggawa ng content, yung isa ay expert sa pag-manage ng forum. Ganong level ng role. Instead of team teaching by topic, you team teach because you have different expertise with regards to technology. And optimized teaching assistants po. Again, they are UVLe roles appropriate for teaching assistants. Ayun lamang po. So yan, we have instructional videos in YouTube, and we plan to offer online course training around by end of July or early first week of August po. Our expectation lang po that when you enter the online course in UVLe, you already have an idea on how you will redesign the course. Yan lamang po.
Okay.
Maraming salamat po sa
Maraming salamat po, Sir Van, at maraming salamat din po sa ating attendees for today. Hopefully, we have picked up a new skill or two, and it will be better, and our work would be better moving forward as we transition to the new normal. If you have other questions po pala, you can still send an email to our help desk. That's ilcdhelpdesk.upd@up.edu.ph, also posted in the chat, Zoom webinar chat. And maglalabas din naman po ang ILC ng FAQ. So I know na marami po tayong questions na hindi na naabutan, but we can be sure to have those answered through the FAQ and through our help desk email. Okay. Again, thank you very much for everyone. Thank you, Sir Van. Thank you to the ILC team. And we're going to conclude na. Maraming salamat. Yung video po, will also be uploading this, right, sir? For reference also?
Yes po. Yung PowerPoint will be shared.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. Share po namin yung materials, and hopefully po, sagot po kayo dun sa aming survey so we can also assist you better. Alright, sige. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po.